Welcome to the Mindfully Misunderstood podcast. My name is Cameron.
And I'm Cook. So this is episode 1. And of course, we're ironing out the kinks as we go. But I think we should probably start off by saying why we even decided to do a podcast anyway.
Man, I feel like there's so many reasons.
Yeah. Well, I can kick it off by saying that oftentimes, probably a couple times a week at least, we're on the phone for hours chopping it up about all different subjects.
Yeah.
From relationships to religion to we don't really get into politics that much, but just maybe just life, and I thought it was our conversation would be so dope. I thought it would be a great idea to let people in on what the hell we'd be talking about. Okay, all right, cool. Making sure. So,
for the weak-minded, I'll tell you that.
For a fact. Now, also too, we are, we like to study all kinds of stuff. Obviously, all real estate, business. We talk about business a lot, and so that was the main thing. We decided that, hey, man, all this conversation we having, why not monetize it? So it just made sense to perhaps make a show out of what we do anyway. Talking for hours, and so seeing as how this is our first episode, things aren't going to be perfect, and we're not expecting perfection at this point.
No, we're just trying to get the information out there.
Yeah, for a fact. And episode 1 is going to lead to episode 100. And you know what they say: the journey of 1,000 miles began with one step. So here we are.
First step, baby.
Taking that first step. So again, like I say, my name is Cook. My brother Cameron, and we are brothers. It's by marriage, but we've been tight. It's my right hand. So
it's the man who first showed me what money looked like, yo. I was I was probably 13 years old. I saw my first, 400 and some change. Well, probably close to 5.
Hey, I didn't know we were gonna jump right in on that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know why I showed it to you, but I think I was trying to motivate you at the time. You know what?
He was explaining to me, because I think it was at a point in time where I wasn't doing the best in school at all, and he was like, he just didn't understand, nigga, how do you have this much common sense but you're not applying it in school?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I think you kind of just showed me that to show me it's money out here, but you gotta be willing to do the work for it.
Yeah.
And back then, he would stay up with me till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. He got to go to work at 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? And we still up doing math at 2 or 3 in the morning. So that just goes to show you, how dedicated, he was in education in the household. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what, to speak on that, yeah, you were not the best student, but you weren't bad though. It was just, you know what, and it's funny how over time our minds shift, because I placed such a high importance on that type of education that I didn't realize that perhaps you just learned a different way, right? And so, that was me kind of applying what I thought you needed to do at the time. But I mean, lo and behold, life, the school of life. Actually, you excelled in that. You know what I mean? I'm saying, outside of the normal school structure, I mean, you did great. I think what happens is we get so focused on the conventional school curriculum is that, and if you follow it to a T, then you're going to be great in life. If you don't, then you're going to fail, and that's simply not true. Yeah. But here's the thing, though: you can't tell kids that. You can't really tell them that because then they might just drop the ball and not care, right? So, but I'm glad you struggled then, but you turned out quite well.
Yeah.
And so, but I was just genuinely interested in your success. And so I kind of showed you that because I was running out of stuff to motivate you.
And it showed, like, y'all, I'll give you, you know what I'm saying, it showed, you know what I'm saying, because I only had, I mean, in my opinion, I only had 2 role models at that point in time of my life, and that was you and them. Like, I always looked up to my brother Ashton, but, like, you know what I'm saying, he never really came around much because of my pops, so it was kind of just like, it was like a hit or miss. Like, if I call him, he might pick up. If it might be a year before I talk to him. So, but I mean, all in all, like, just those 2 examples alone, I kind of just was like, all right, I gotta make some shake.
And you know what? That's important, man. It's important for young men and young ladies to have that role model, because I had a couple great role models. I mean, I thank God I had my own dad, and he wasn't perfect, but I mean, what parent is perfect? But I took the one major thing I got from my own dad was work ethic, right? I mean, the man will work. He gonna work, and he gonna make sure his family is taken care of. And that's one thing that I valued from him. And also, my father taught me about money early. And that's why, I was able to save that type, because, my father had me reading financial management books since I was in junior high school. And a lot of times I was just reading this stuff and it wasn't really sinking in, but I think it was just getting in my brain and just sitting there, you know what I mean? But when I started working at McDonald's, man, I mean, from the jump, I was good with saving money. I had more money working at McDonald's, man. Shoot. Really, I was stacking bands at 16, 17 because I wasn't buying none, So, but we can get into that a little bit later about finances and all that, because that's another thing we talk about. Yeah. Money and how a lot of people just throw it away, not really understanding like the power. So money is power, but it depends on what you do with it, right? Right. So, but a lot of us are quick to give our power away, but that's an episode in itself, because there's a lot to be talked about in that particular area as far as finances go. So, but yeah, man, hey, I'm proud of you. You turned out to be a stand-up guy, an awesome father, wonderful husband, and all the way around good dude, man. I was worried about you for a minute there, though. I didn't think.
Hey, to be real, I didn't think I was gonna be here, man. Just because, I think when my senior year of high school, I was like, I had no idea. Everybody was pretty much, applying for colleges. I was like, I know I don't want to go to college. I have no reason to go to college. So it's like, I kind of was just like at like a standstill, because it was like I could have went to college, right? I could have went to a community college for 2 years and then transferred to a big university. I was like, but that doesn't do anything for me if I don't know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying, career-wise. So I was like, that's kind of, I didn't want to waste my money and get into debt like that, and I definitely wouldn't go ask my mom to pay for me to go to college, especially if I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, yeah, nah, that mission was not for me. I tried to do the Air Force. That mission wasn't for me either.
I already know that.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. So how far did you get with the Air Force thing?
I passed the ASVAB. And then...
What does ASVAB mean?
I don't even know what it means now. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Okay. So it's some kind of assessment.
Yeah, so it's an assessment or whatever, and I was actually going to go to the military to be a pediatrician.
Dude, you've been a dope ass pediatrician. Yeah. I know you were. But go ahead.
So I was like, yeah, I passed the ASVAB and I got past the, first initial steps or whatever, and it was like the final step or whatever, and then I found out that I was having Aiden, and I was like, well, ain't going to do that. So
now,
although it could have set me up for the future in the long run, I didn't have an absent father, so I felt like me doing that, even if it was for the 4 years or the 6 years that I signed up for it, like that was, I know that could possibly lead to me, you know what I'm saying, going somewhere or doing something that I wasn't really ready to put my life on the line for. Especially, you know what I'm saying, and that's a whole nother conversation about the government, but I definitely don't believe in fighting other people's fights.
Yeah. Or essentially, like they say, fighting for a country that won't fight for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I understand that. And you know what's funny about that is my pops is a Vietnam vet, and he was totally against me going into the military, and largely because of how he was treated. Apparently, I mean, so he got drafted fresh out of high school into the Vietnam War, and we all know, well, most of us know about the history with the Vietnam War, and it was terrible. And I think that
drafted.
Yeah, I think that was the only war, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the only war where the soldiers weren't celebrating when they came back home.
Yeah, and
so it was messed up. But no, my father was adamant about me doing something else. And no, you're not going to the military. And I was like, at that time, I think I don't know when they stopped the draft, but I think I could have been drafted. I'm not sure. I think I could have been. I don't know. But I thank God I avoided that. But I hear some people going to the military, man, and they thrive, and
I mean, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, if you want to do the whole career, John, I mean, that's totally up to you. But I just think, I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, in America that system that they built, it's not built for us at all. I mean, if you ain't white, it ain't right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and not to mention that at that time, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's probably gotten better by now, but especially at that time, my father was in there, that racism was
heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy. And so...
I was like, what? What year was that?
Well, I think my pops went in like 69 or something like that.
So that was like the year, what was that, because Martin Luther King died in what, 68?
Man, you got me. Now you're going to test my history in front of the people.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We gonna look this up here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King. Fun fact about that, if y'all didn't know, Martin Luther King actually did not die when he got shot.
Oh yeah.
He was actually killed in the hospital.
Yeah. I seen that a nurse had confirmed it that
they suffocated.
Suffocating. That's crazy. But yeah, oh look at you, man, 68.
Yeah. So April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King was.
See, you may not have gotten an A in history, but you know your history. See what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah, man.
And it's funny because you know, and when you talk about the college thing too, and you know, realizing that wasn't for you, that reminded me of that Mark Twain quote where he said, "Don't let school get in the way of your education," or something like that. Don't let school get in the way of your education. And man, that's so true. Like there's so much more to learn outside of school. Now I'm not saying, hey, if you college material, because we need attorneys, we need lawyers. I mean, we need doctors, nurses. We need all those people, right? But it's really not necessary to be. It's not necessary to be successful. You can. There are a lot of other things that we can do to you know, essentially live a really nice life without going to college.
Yeah. It all depends on what you deem your level of success.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't base your success off of another person or what everybody else got. It's just whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I went to college for accounting. I was on like the 5-year program, to whereas I think I was taking 12 credit hours per semester. So at that rate, it was taking me 5 years to graduate. So I went to school 3.5 years. Wound up working for the utility company here, and I loved it. It really didn't seem like work to me. Most of the time it did. Sometimes it sucked, but those days were few and far between. But provided a nice life for my family and I enjoyed that more than I think I would have enjoyed being in the office with a suit and tie and crunching numbers for people or meeting deadlines and you know.
Just for shits and giggles, you know what I'm saying? Telling people what you used to do.
Oh, well, so I used to do, I'll probably get into what I do now, but I used to be a power lineman, basically, for the utility company here in Northern Illinois. Try to leave names out just because I think it's the right thing to do at this point. But so I worked on the power lines for 24 years. 24 years and decided to walk away a few months ago. And it was all, well, actually I made the decision a couple years ago. We had to work out the plan to walk away. And so I just was able to walk away about 4 months ago. And stepping out on faith because I really did love my job, but I hated the fact that it was a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can't pass my job down to my children. I had very little control, if any, of my schedule. And you know, as the saying goes, you can't have security and freedom. It's just you got to pick one.
Yeah.
And, you know, my security was nice, but I didn't have the freedom. So now, at this point, I want to see what that freedom is like. But that comes with no security. You know, because in business, essentially, you know, you can have a $1,000 a month or $100,000 a month.
Yeah.
And they can fluctuate just like that. You know, whereas, you know, when I was working my job, I knew I was going to make X amount of dollars roughly a month. Or every other week. I knew that was automatic. But,
yeah, that's how I feel now.
Yeah,
and I'm slowly working to get to, you know what I'm saying, that point or whatever, where I'm able to transition from, you know what I'm saying, working where I'm working now to basically like working for myself.
Right, from employee to employer.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I got no doubt in my mind. you'll be good because you got the brain for it.
It's a 3-year plan, y'all. 3 years.
Well, I tell you, I know you are not employee material. Now, it's not to say you're not a good employee.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. It doesn't sit well with you.
So
like
what do you tell? What do you tell? You know what I'm saying, certain individuals that are like me, that aren't necessarily employee material.
Okay, well, and this may sound what do you call that? Anyhow, this may sound like it's going against women, but if you're not employee material, first and foremost, you should still be the best employee wherever you're working at. Because I firmly believe that no matter what you're doing, you're working for yourself. And what I mean by that is your name is on the line. Integrity, right? You should have integrity in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Because even if you are thinking about walking away from your job, if your work ethic is trash, then you're probably going to be a trash employer. Probably. Something's going to be missing. You're gonna mess the money up. You're gonna force your employees to walk away from you. Whatever. I'm just saying, first and foremost, wherever you're working, you should be the best employee there, and that's all about mindset and about first and foremost, whatever you're doing, you treat it as if it's your business. That's where you get the practice from, in my opinion, and that's kind of what I did in my job. Like, I pretty much worked at the company as if it was mine. Now, don't get me wrong, I like to have fun on the job.
Yeah.
But there's a balance. So, and people knew that, hey, Cook gonna laugh and joke, you gonna have a good time, but when it's showtime, it's showtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't play. And I think that's what a lot of people respected about me, because I could laugh and joke and we could perform. It's showtime.
Yeah.
I never wanted my boss to have to, that sounds funny saying boss anyway, but whatever, for the purpose of illustration.
Yeah.
I never wanted my boss to have to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Now, to make suggestions, that's fine. You know what I mean? But like, as if I don't want to be treated as if I can't do my job if you weren't standing over me. Never. I'm grown. I'm a grown man. I can do my job whether you tell me what to do or not. I'll figure it out. And a lot of times, I'd be making moves at work, and my boss don't even know what I'm doing. I'm already ahead of you, bro. Come on. I'm already ahead of you.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. You're always working for yourself, no matter what you're doing. You're working for you. And I think the next step is to, there's steps to this. Now you're talking about in a sense that somebody who's thinking about walking away from the job, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think the next step is money management. It's so important, because essentially that's why businesses fail anyway, because people mismanage the money. And if you're not good with money, then you're probably not going to be good with the business's money.
Yeah.
Which means your chances of survival are slim to none.
Right.
Learn money management skills. Learn to actually not be impressed by money. What I mean by that is that, when you sitting on, X amount of dollars, you're not looking at it as, ooh man, I could buy this. That's what most people do. Most people will sit with $10,000, $20,000 in an account and think about all the things they could buy that aren't assets. And that's a poor mindset. So at some point we could probably get into the stages of like poor, middle class, and wealthy mindsets. But essentially what wealthy people do, and you don't have to be wealthy to have a wealthy mindset, right?
Right.
And I'm not a Bible thumper at all. But I'm saying I love that the Bible is a great guide for life. And I follow a lot of principles in there. But I like that scripture that says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be a wealthy person to follow wealthy people rules. Wealthy people rules say that you take the primary purpose for money for a wealthy person is to make more money. A lot of us don't think like that. We buy stuff that is going to depreciate and not give you a return.
Yeah.
So those the first two things right there, I would say, be the employee of the century, because you're always working for yourself, and work on your money management skills. Those are the first two things. Then once you come to those, then the other steps that you can take after that. So, but now, so what? Well, we're both dabbling in real estate. It's funny because there's so many different ways to make money.
Too many.
Yeah. So
many.
Cam has done the wholesaling thing. Which are they tightening up on wholesaling down in Missouri?
No, just in Illinois.
Okay, and Atlanta. They
so you
Georgia.
Apparently, you can only do one wholesale deal a year here.
That's crazy.
So you better make sure that bad boy is like
the whale. It's a whale.
You better make sure that bad boy like 50 to 100,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I do wholesaling on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, like I said, and I talked to you before, currently working on this deal. So hopefully she come through
Mm-hmm.
and she can meet me at the number she want to meet me at, and you know what I'm saying, we can close within that first 30 days.
Yeah. Now explain to people what wholesaling is, because some people may not know. They're like, how could you wholesale real estate?
I mean, so many people have so many definitions, but you basically, in layman's terms, you basically are the middleman between the buyer and the seller. So basically, you know what I'm saying, you would act as if you were the real estate agent, but you're really not. And you could do it a number of ways. Like if you wanted to actually buy the property, you could buy the property. If you want to assign it to another person, you could do that as well. But that's pretty much what it is. You're pretty much just the middle person between that buyer and the seller.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do you make your money? I'm trying to get down to some detail.
So it depends, because everybody's a little bit different in it, and it depends on, you know what I'm saying, the deal that you work out. Because some, you know what I'm saying, I might come to you and say, hey, I want to buy your house, and you might say, hey, I need $1,500 earnest money, right? So I got to put that $1,500 down before I do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Before I put you under contract, I got to give you that $1,500, and that contract says if I don't sell that property within the given time, whether it's 30, 60 days, or 90 days, you automatically forfeit that $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
So some people might ask you for that earnest money. Other people won't, but you always want to put, you know what I'm saying, some earnest money down, whether it's $1 or $20, whatever. You always want to put some earnest money down just so you can lock that under contract.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you lock the property down with earnest money, and then what?
So you would go to basically any, I forget what they're called, but you would take it to basically like a realtor's office, and you basically give them that contract. So it's actually, you would hand them the contract, and they would actually, basically like, I forget what this process is called, but it's basically ensuring that property is under, like, it's for sure under contract.
Okay, so they can't show it to anybody else? Okay.
So they can't, like, once it's under contract, once you actually go to that office and you get everything situated, that person can't go to you and be like, hey, I want you to buy my property instead of Cameron.
Okay.
So once you do that, it's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, after that, it's pretty much like a waiting game. You basically want to, you know what I'm saying, put the properties online, you know, put your price into the property.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a buyer that wants to buy it, you know what I'm saying, you assign that contract to the buyer. And then after, like at closing day, they'll meet at that office. You know, closing day, you actually don't even have to be there. After they close on that property and everything is done, they'll call you, be like, hey Cameron, or hey Cook, you wanna come pick up your check? It's here waiting for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I get it. So basically, and I know what it is, but you know, some people don't. Some people may not know.
I don't know the specifics of it, which I should, but I really don't. But I would call it just like a notarized letter where it's like, it's for sure. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like that's the property that you have under contract, and nobody can take that from you.
Okay, and as far as that 1,500 goes, so essentially that's like gambling a little. Well, I guess all business is gambling.
Yeah.
So basically, you're betting on yourself that you can get this property sold.
Yeah.
To essentially an investor or something, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you have like a funnel of investors that you know, so you get a property and then.
So like you can use a number of ways. You could do Craigslist. You could do. If anybody has like Deal Machine or PropStream, there's like it's like a campaign chain that you would send out to all your buyers. Like when you have a property or whatever, you can send out like a campaign chain, or you could go to, you know what I'm saying, like Facebook has a marketplace for wholesalers that just post on there daily.
Mm-hmm.
You could even post it on there. And you'll probably get it quicker through Facebook than you will, you know what I'm saying, just sending those email campaigns out. But I mean, it's all your preference.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Now, so that's essentially what wholesaling is, and I'm more of a conventional real estate investor as far as I've done a couple flips. I'm not a seasoned investor. I've done a couple flips, and currently I have 10 doors, one of which is a commercial property. So I'm still a baby in the game, but you know what? My portfolio will grow and is growing, and so
it's a big portfolio. You know?
well, thank you. But
you're sitting in one actually.
Well, I ain't that. But yeah, so and that's the other thing as far as like, you know, buying assets. You know, and betting on yourself.
Yeah,
I think it's important that, you know, because you could have taken the earnest money that you put on these houses, you could have taken that and went shopping with it or whatever. But you know, essentially what you're saying is, hey man, I'm betting on myself, my skills, that my skill set can yield me a return.
Oh yeah,
and I think it's important. So now, anything else you want to say to the people? Because I'm thinking that we getting really specific. We should probably say that for some future episodes.
Yeah. Nah, man, I think this will wrap it up for the first episode.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank y'all for spending a little time with us. We got more content to come, and you know, like I say, my name is Cook.
Cameron.
And this is the Mindfully Misunderstood podcast, episode 1. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
For sure. We thank you guys for watching. Peace.